You don't know the story of PFC James Anderson Jr.? Bullshit! Sit down, get comfortable, because I'm about to tell you the story of the first African American Marine to receive the Medal of Honor, PFC James Anderson Jr. James was born January 2nd, 1947, in Compton, California. He would be the first boy to a couple who already had 5 daughters. James grew up singing in the choir. He was also a fabulous dancer, and he also took part in service organizations such as the Boys and Girls Club of America. James played the clarinet in high school while he was on the band, graduating 10th of his class from Sentinel High School in 1964. After high school, James attended LA Harbor College, and he studied pre-law for a year and a half. When the Vietnam War started, James did not want to be drafted into the Army, so he enlisted into the United States Marine Corps in February of 1966 and was sent to Vietnam that December. February 28, 1967, James had just celebrated his 20th birthday and his 1-year anniversary in the Marines when he was put to the ultimate test. James was serving as a rifleman with Fox Company's 2nd Battalion, 3rd Marine Regiment, 3rd Marine Division in the Quang Tri Province on Vietnam's central coast. James and his platoon were on a mission to rescue a heavily besieged reconnaissance patrol when they came upon heavy enemy fire in a dense jungle northeast of Cam-Lo. The platoon would react quickly and begin firing back. James would find himself on the ground in a tightly packed group of Marines just 20 meters away from the enemy, and James would begin to fire back. All of a sudden, a grenade would land just within feet of James's head. Without hesitation, James grabbed the grenade, pulled it tight to his chest, wrapped his body around it before it detonated. His body would absorb the blast, killing James immediately. Thanks to his actions, the Marines around him survived with just minor injuries. James's extraordinary valor and self-sacrifice were a true testament to his courage, and that's why he was awarded the Medal of Honor on August 21st, 1968. His parents would accept this award in a ceremony at Marine Barracks, Washington. This would make James the first African American Marine to receive the nation's highest award for valor. In 1983, the Navy would show its appreciation by naming a maritime pre-positioning ship after PFC James Anderson Jr. His name also adorns Anderson Hall at Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. In December of 2022, a bill will be passed by Congress to rename the post office in James's hometown after him. This all came about because the mayor of Compton, Emma Sheriff, was visiting James's memorial site at Lincoln Memorial Park and noticed James didn't even have a proper headstone as a Medal of Honor recipient. Mayor Sheriff would bring that to the attention of U.S. Representative Nanette Berrigan of California, then she would get the ball rolling on the post office legislation. A park in Carson, California, near where James grew up at, would also be named in his honor. You may have heard the story of Kyle Carpenter. He also did the same exact thing that James did, but he actually survived. This is the most famously known story, but James's story somehow has disappeared in time. And that's not to take anything away from this devil dog, who just like James, did what he had to do in order to protect his fellow Marines. Now you know the story of the first African American Marine to receive the Medal of Honor, PFC James Anderson Jr. Make sure you hit that follow button and stay tuned for more stories like these, as long as we tracking.